Power doesn't live in crowns or gold or the edge of a blade. It lives in the mind. And the moment you understand that, you understand everything. This is a scene from Game of Thrones between two of the sharpest minds in Westeros. Varys, the spy master with no army, no title, and no wealth, who somehow survives every regime change. And Tyrion Lannister, the new hand of the king, who's just begun purging the small council to secure his grip on power. Tyrion thinks he's winning. He's removing enemies, placing allies, making the right moves. But Varys is about to teach him something that will unravel everything he thinks he knows about power. Let's walk through this conversation line by line.
You'll be pleased to know our mutual friend is doing quite well in Lady Sansa's service.
Varys opens with a peace offering. He's reminding Tyrion of their collaboration, someone they both placed together. This is strategic positioning. He's saying, remember, we work well together. We're not enemies.
Good. One of my better ideas.
Tyrion accepts the praise, but stays measured. He's acknowledging the alliance without revealing too much. Both men are testing each other, feeling out how much trust exists in this room.
And it seems the Grand Maester has found his way into a black cell.
Now Varys shifts the tone. He's noting that Tyrion has imprisoned one of the most powerful men on the council. But notice, he's not protesting. He's simply observing, watching, measuring.
Well played, my Lord Hand.
This sounds like a compliment, but it's really an assessment. Varys is telling Tyrion, I see exactly what you're doing. I understand your strategy, and I'm evaluating whether you're a threat to me.
But should I be worried?
And there's the real question. Varys is asking directly, am I next? It's a bold move, forcing Tyrion to either reassure him or reveal hostile intent. But Varys isn't finished.
Janis Slynt, Pycelle. The small council grows smaller every day.
He lists the bodies, the people Tyrion has removed from power. The message is unmistakable. You're consolidating control by eliminating potential threats. And I've noticed the pattern.
The council has a reputation for serving past hands poorly.
Now comes the warning, wrapped in historical fact. Previous hands of the king didn't survive. They were destroyed by the very system they tried to control. Varys is telling Tyrion, you think you're winning, but this job has killed everyone who held it before you.
I don't mean to follow Ned Stark to the grave.
Tyrion deflects with dark humor, but underneath is absolute confidence. He's saying, I'm not like Ned Stark. I'm smarter. I understand the game. I won't make his mistakes. But that confidence, that belief that power is about being clever enough to outmaneuver your enemies, that's exactly the assumption Varys is about to shatter.
Power is a curious thing, my lord.
With one sentence, Varys changes the entire conversation. He's moving from specific political moves to something abstract and philosophical. Power itself is strange, he suggests. There's something about it you don't understand yet.
Are you fond of riddles?
This is brilliant manipulation. By framing what comes next as a riddle, Varys makes it seem playful, intellectual, and non-threatening. Tyrion's defenses drop because this feels like a philosophical puzzle, not a lesson about his own vulnerabilities.
Why? Am I about to hear one?
Tyrion sees the trap but can't resist. His curiosity won't let him. And Varys knows this about him, that Tyrion will always choose to engage intellectually even when he knows he's being played.
3 great men sit in a room. A king, a priest, and a rich man.
Varys sets up 3 figures, each representing a different source of power. The king has political authority, the legal right to command. The priest has religious legitimacy, the moral authority of the divine. The rich man has economic power, the ability to reward and punish through wealth.
Between them stands a common sellsword.
And here's the variable: a soldier, a mercenary, someone with no inherent authority, no wealth, no divine blessing, just a man with a weapon.
Each great man bids the sellsword kill the other two.
Now comes the impossible choice. 3 voices, 3 commands, 3 different claims to authority. The soldier can only obey one. So the question becomes, how does he choose?
Who lives, who dies?
Varys presents it as a simple question, but it's designed to expose how we think about power. Most people will answer based on what they believe power really is, and that answer reveals everything.
Depends on the sellsword.
Tyrion gives what seems like the obvious answer. The soldier has agency. He has choice. Therefore, the outcome depends on what he decides. It's logical, rational, and completely in line with how Tyrion sees the world. Power is about individual will and strategic decision-making.
Does it?
2 words. That's all Varys needs to destabilize everything. Does it really depend on the soldier? Or is there something deeper happening here that Tyrion hasn't considered?
He has neither crown nor gold, nor favor with the gods.
Varys strips away every traditional source of authority. The soldier has no legal power, no wealth, no religious legitimacy. He's nobody. So why would any of these powerful men think their commands would be obeyed?
He has a sword, the power of life and death.
Tyrion doubles down on the materialist position. The soldier has the weapon. He has the physical capacity to kill. In Tyrion's worldview, that's what makes power real, the ability to use force. Control violence, and you control everything. This is exactly what Varys expected him to say, and now he's going to dismantle it.
But if it's swordsmen who rule, why do we pretend kings hold all the power?
One counter question, and Tyrion's entire framework collapses. If soldiers have all the power because they have the weapons, then why don't they rule? Why do they take orders from kings and lords who can't match them in combat? There's a gap here, a gap between having force and having authority. And Tyrion suddenly realizes he can't explain it.
When Ned Stark lost his head, who was truly responsible?
Varys makes the riddle concrete. He brings up an execution they both witnessed, a moment that changed the entire political landscape. And he asks the question that reveals everything.
Joffrey, the executioner, or something else?
Who held the power in that moment? Was it the boy king who gave the command? Was it the professional executioner who carried it out? Or was it something neither of them controlled? Think about it. The executioner didn't have a personal vendetta against Ned Stark. He had no reason to want him dead, but he killed him anyway. Why? Because he believed that's what executioners do when kings give orders. The power wasn't in Joffrey's crown or in the executioner's blade. It was in the invisible belief system that made both of them think they were following the rules. It was in the shared hallucination that this was how things were supposed to work.
I've decided I don't like riddles.
Tyrion shuts down. He's uncomfortable because he understands exactly what Varys is saying, and it undermines everything he's been doing. Tyrion has been playing the game like chess. Move pieces strategically, eliminate threats, build alliances, and you win. That Varys is revealing that power isn't about the pieces on the board. It's about who gets to decide what the board looks like in the first place. It's about the invisible rules that make people think they have to obey. And those rules, they're not controlled by clever political moves. They're controlled by belief. And belief is far more fragile than Tyrion wants to admit.
Power resides where men believe it resides.
There it is, the answer to the riddle. Power is not objective. It's not a thing you can hold or possess. It exists only in the collective perception of the people who recognize it. The king has power because the soldier believes the king has power. The priest has authority because people believe in the divine. The rich man has influence because society agrees that wealth equals importance. But strip away the belief and there's nothing left. The king is just a person. The priest is just a person. The rich man is just a person. The power never existed outside of the shared agreement to recognize it.
It's a trick.
Varys calls it what it is: an illusion, a con, a performance that only works as long as the audience keeps believing in it. Power has no substance. It's not real in any material sense.
A shadow on the wall.
A shadow looks real. It has shape, presence, weight, but you can't touch it. You can't hold it. It's just the absence of light projected onto a surface. And the moment the light source moves, the shadow disappears. That's power. It's projected, not possessed. It looks real, but it's just a trick of perception.
And a very small man can cast a very large shadow.
And here's the final revelation. If power is just perception, then your actual size, strength, or resources don't matter nearly as much as your ability to shape what others believe. Varys is talking about himself. He has no army, no wealth, no family name. But he controls information. He shapes narratives. He whispers in the right ears at the right moments. And through that, he casts a shadow far larger than his physical form. He's also talking about Tyrion. Tyrion is a dwarf in a world that values physical stature and martial prowess. But his mind, his ability to manipulate perception, to play the game, to understand psychology, makes him one of the most dangerous men in Westeros. This is the lesson. Power doesn't belong to the strong. It belongs to those who understand that strength is just one more shadow on the wall. The real power belongs to whoever controls the light. So the riddle isn't really about a king, a priest, and a rich man. It's about the nature of authority itself. Every system of power, political, religious, economic, relies on collective belief. Laws only work if people enforce them. Money only has value if people accept it. Authority only exists if people recognize it. And that means every king, every institution, every authority is always one perception shift away from total collapse. You can't force people to believe in you. You can only maintain the performance and hope they keep buying it. This is why Varys tells Tyrion this riddle. Tyrion thinks he's securing his power by removing threats and making clever moves, but he's missing the deeper game. If people stop believing in his legitimacy, if the performance fails, none of his tactics will save him. The real question isn't whether you have power. The question is whether people believe you do. And belief can vanish in an instant. A very small man can cast a very large shadow. But shadows disappear the moment the light shifts. Varys has taught Tyrion the most dangerous truth in the world. Power is a shared hallucination. It only exists because we agree to see it. And whoever understands that doesn't just play the game. They decide what game is being played.